Collective. My name is Jess, the Tarot-tunist, and I have a pick a card message just for you today. So, this is good news. This is what does Spirit want to let you know that's coming into your life that is going to put a big smile on your face. We have pile number 1, Trixie and Katya. Oh, you and your bestie might be really bonding right now through, you guys are both going through a hard time. And it's like you guys are hopping on this ship and you guys can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And through the comedy, through the bonding of leaning on each other, through this tough time, you're getting through it. Pile number 1. Pile number 2, we have Miss Alyssa Edwards. And this is Alyssa's secret. So that's her signature sign on and off. So, feeling yourself, you are the queen bee, pile number 2. And then we have Crystal Methyd. I want to say this is Crystal Methyd. She is a New York drag queen, and she is artsy, she is funny, she is expressive, and yeah, she has a little rubber ducky. So pile number 3. Good news coming to you. Hello, pile 1. This is for everyone who chose Trixie and Katya. You guys are my comedy queens, hanging on to your besties, your support group. You both are supporting each other through all these big changes. And I feel like you and your best friend are kind of, doing totally different things, but you're supporting each other. And it's almost like the light is at the end of the tunnel. I get that essence, especially with that sticker. It's like Trixie's like, oh my God, we're almost there. And Katya's just glad to be there. So, let's get started. Pile number 1. The good news coming your way you might be seeing the number 888. But within 8 days to 8 weeks, a blessing on a homecoming. I really feel like this pile in particular, there's a lot of changes going on, and you have kind of withdrawn into yourself, and maybe you got caught up in toxic cycles or a self-destructive pattern. So when these changes happened, I feel like this collective that chose this pile kind of went with inside themselves and shut people off. And look, and that's necessary. That's part of life. But I really see that you returning back to life, making life normal again, is going to be blessed. You have the knowledge, and you are ready to start anew. If you go to the grocery store next time, pick up some white flowers. That's just going to help bring in this purity energy. White always symbolizes purity and divine feminine energy and grace. And that is what you're embodying in this blessing. This blessing is you coming back to life. The angel Isaiah is currently with you. It is a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. So right now, maybe you're pregnant, maybe you're going to hear that somebody in your life is pregnant soon. But ultimately, I just get this is you. You are beautiful, you're a little unsure of the future, but at the same time, you're hopeful because new life is inside you. You're coming back to yourself, back to your old ways of thinking, and you're able to make healthier choices. And I see that whatever has been throwing you off lately, it's not going to throw you off anymore. And you're making it your new normal, and you're going to be thriving. And new ideas and inspiration is going to be coming to you. And I just see you reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with a part of yourself that maybe you were always scared to discover or be a part of. Maybe even entering a love connection that you were scared of. I don't really necessarily get romance from this pile. This is more like of self-discovery and as a result, maybe opening up to romance or opening up more to people. But I see you just coming back to yourself. Abundance. So this is the color yellow, and that represents the solar plexus. So this is like yourself. And let me get a little closer. So do you see this guy? He's at the bar, he's over drinking. Again, I get maybe this is you diving into old destructive patterns. And as a result, it's, money lost, and you realize like it's empty where you're putting all of this energy, whether it's, like I said, toxic cycles or addictive issues. There's no judgment here on this channel. But now I see you switching. You're switching the way you view the world, and you're going to a more innocent viewpoint, and you're ready to leave the past behind you and to start digging deep and finding the joy within inside your heart. It's like you're ready to let go of the past hurts, and it's not consuming you anymore. And you're like, you know what? It's time for a change. Whether that's a healthier lifestyle, coming back to my roots, maybe saying goodbye to some people. But you have the innocence right now of a child, the purity of heart, that whatever you are putting your thinking into now, or whatever is like putting a smile on your face, that you're like, that seems kind of cool. Go for it. Invest in it. The color yellow is going to be important for you for the next 5 days. If you could embrace the color yellow in any way in your life, whether through flowers, nail polish, makeup, accessories, even gold, that would be so beneficial for you. So with this deck, I have two of the same deck. I have a pink and black deck, and photograph came out twice. So I really feel like if you are missing somebody, they are missing you too. There's like a twin flame energy here a little bit, because besides this, I feel like you are ready to embark on this chapter of you. But this card represents looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. So I feel like you and maybe it's your best friend, maybe I really get maybe this is more of a twin flame or a relationship, situationship thing. Both parties are missing each other, and both parties want to start fresh, whatever that means for you, whether it's like, I want to start fresh with you, or it's like, you know what, I just want to start fresh in my life. That's what I'm getting. Both parties really want a fresh start. And even if you are in a romantic relationship and it's not going so well, or maybe it's a situationship, I also get too, you're going back to this root of like innocence. And I think there's the other person is kind of stuck in this lack mentality. So that could also resonate as well. But ultimately, I'm also getting the beach and summertime. Summer is going to be getting near the water is going to be very healing for you. But this summer, even though it's starting really rocky, expect from now to Libra season for it to just gradually get better. It's going to get better now. Libra season is, I want to say it is September through October. But now, and if this is timeless, so if you're like, oh, it's that time now, then I would say expect it within the next 8 weeks look a lot different, to be a lot better. And we have clock. Need time, takes time. Take time with a wounded hand, though it likes to heal. Maybe you're a Stone Temple Pilots fan. Scott Weiland definitely has a piece of my heart, but so right now I get that if anything is going to happen in your life, this is not like, oh, by tomorrow things are going to look a million times better, but I just see that like a stream. It's like soft flowing, and now it's coming in and it's pooling. It's like good energy is pooling in. You know what I mean? Like you're watching this and you're feeling depleted. Expect to start feeling rejuvenated. The more you take walks outside after work, or the more that you open your windows at night, the more that you invite nature back into your life and invite the old you, the real you back into your life, it's going to get better. But I just see that this situation, if you are dealing with somebody that you had to place a boundary with, or that you're like, I don't know where this is headed, just give it time. I don't have the answer of like, oh, it's going to be perfect, or, oh, yep, you guys are getting back together. But I do see you, my dear watcher, growing and maturing and learning and healing and having abundance because of that healing. And if that person's going to be a part of it, then that means they're growing in the right direction too. But really, time will tell. Like I said, the number 8 and the number 888 and 5 are resonating, all about manifestations and change and energy. It can be exciting, but it can also be chaotic and overwhelming. We have coffin and we have tree. So I see that something has ended and something beautiful is growing because of that. Like, you see how the butterfly, or I think it's probably a moth, is flying out, is breaking free, Ariana Grande style, out of the coffin. That's what you're doing. And something beautiful is coming from this dry desert, this death. You're planning stability in your life. Abundance is happening. You're starting to view yourself and the situation, or the situations, all these changes in your life, in a different, more innocent way, in a more positive way. And it's a beautiful thing, and you're seeing all the opportunity. Grounding is super important for you in this time. Strong earth energy. We have Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. We also have Aries, Leo, and Sag. And then you might be seeing a group of birds soon, or like you might be having introspective thoughts and then you see a bird fly by. That is definitely confirmation. Birds are always messengers of the spirit realm, you know. You also could be a strong air sign, or you might be deep into thinking. Maybe you're really into like the Page of Swords mentality, where you're really curious mentally. In fact, you are curious because the fox. So along with birds, you might see a fox within the next 5 days, especially at night when you're driving. Please be careful of our friends. Practice curiosity. I really feel like you're growing, like you're breaking free from this fear mentality. If you're not dealing with anybody, this ultimately is you breaking free from this fear mentality. And the good news is that you're seeing it, and that you're going to be blessed because of it, financially, but more so. I get like, yes, financially you're going to get blessed, but that's really not even what you're going to get excited about. What you're going to get excited about is you. You're growing. This is like, you're becoming the you that you want to be, and you're already that you, but you're seeing yourself in a way more positive light, and you're seeing situations in a very clear light. Uncover. Dowsing, pendulum, answers, integrity. That's really interesting that they're saying like dowsing and pendulum, because you see like this little girl, she's, it's not a dowsing rod. It looks like she has like a little magnet. But you are very intuitive right now. And I feel like you are questioning. That's excellent. Trust your intuition. You're on point. If you think someone's lying, they are. If you think it's not going to work out, it's probably not. If you're like, this could be an issue in the future, it's going to be. You trust yourself. I'm not trying to build up your ego. I'm not being like, you're never wrong. But in this moment, you have a lot of clarity because you're looking at things very honestly, but with also not in a negative light. You're looking at it like through a child's eyes, you know? Like children, they do things because it makes people happy, or it makes them happy, and they don't want to make people sad. And why would they do that? They don't understand. And I kind of feel like you have the maturity. You're not a child, but your heart is becoming lighter. It's only getting better. Healing, massive healing is taking place. The full moon is going to be very prevalent for you. So the next full moon, expect an answer or to uncover even a deeper truth. And I do see within the next, so a full moon, actually we're in the waning phase of the full moon, July 4th, 2023. But if you're watching this at any time, this is, I would say within a month. So by next month, or the next full moon, so look at your calendar, you're going to even cover more truths. And I see like talking is going to be better within your friend group, within your romantic relationships, within your family connections. You're coming back to yourself, and you're not going to be as afraid to uncover the real you and to uncover the real answers. Let us get some tarot, shall we? Sorry it's shaking so much, guys. Don't worry, I'll show you. the name Meg, Matt, or any name that begins with the letter M might be very prevalent to you. Awesome. All right. So before I begin, we definitely have very strong fire energy. We have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We also have Pisces, and we also have all air signs, which would be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So right now I see that well, there's two separate messages. So right now I see like you're not feeling really great right now. Things aren't planning out the way you thought they would, and you're not feeling like in control of an idea or a passion project, or just inside yourself. Like the fire is not really lit, and if it is lit, it's not being sustained, and it's not where you wanted it to be, and you're just like that feeling. You're like, meh. You know, you might be hanging out with your kitty cat. I keep staring at that kitty cat, so maybe you've been looking online to adopt kitties, or maybe, like, you know, I know that sounds silly, but sometimes I do that. Like, I'll look at cats or doggies, and, you know, I like to read their stories, and, you know, so you might be doing that. You might be watching a lot more, like, Dodo channel or, like, animal stories to help pep you up, and that's very important. White flowers are also really strong in this reading, so wearing white, or if you could buy yourself white flowers for the next 5 days, would be excellent for you. But ultimately, I just see like you're not feeling life right now. You're like meh energy. Things aren't planning the way you thought they would, and you realize it's because of this energy of not being flexible. There's a time in life where you have to be strong, and you have to set down firm boundaries, and you have to be like, you know what, how does that make me feel? I don't have to say yes to everything. And but this can also go deeper, and I feel like with this pile, yes, maybe some of you guys are dealing with somebody who is like a tyrant, who doesn't want to look at the other side of things, who wants it to be their way and no other way. It can't be another way. The other way is wrong. I see that this is really internal. I feel like you are feeling really disillusioned by these boundaries that you place on this inside yourself. Like, you know, you don't let yourself do things, or things have to be this way, and if they're not this way, then it's wrong. And you're really questioning that. And I see that right now it's bringing a lot of confusion. And if it's not with inside yourself, I see a lot of just big changes that are making you feel powerless. You know, whether I really feel like this is inside yourself, but if it's not inside yourself, somebody is making you feel not really happy, and someone is making you feel really powerless. And it's bringing a lot of like shadows. It's bringing out the shadows, right? It's bringing out the real, like, the sun is wonderful, but the moon is wonderful too. But what do they show us? They reveal the truth. The sun reveals the truth during the day, and the moon reveals what's going on at night, what's not being said, the real shit. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening now. And I feel like I got sun and moon. So yeah, if it's not with inside yourself, this is definitely either a situationship, a relationship. This could even just be a friendship. But somebody is really enforcing some unbreathable boundaries. Maybe your asthma's even acting up. Maybe even having breathing issues, or just panic attacks. But Spirit wants you to know healing is on the way. And what's interesting is this original card, dragonflies are going to be very important for you. If you see you might be seeing dragonflies within the next 3 days. And that's just confirmation that healing is taking place. Any flying creature, anything with wings, is always like messages. But I highly recommend looking up the spiritual meaning of dragonflies. But I always represent them with messages of thankfulness and healing. But this card usually has like multiple people on this boat, and they're healing. But I like that this person is kind of by themselves. And I just see you are going to be healing. Whether this person, if you're dealing with somebody, whether they come along for the ride or not, you're going to be moving on, and you're going to be really happy about it. The good news is Belief in yourself is going to be restored. Money is going to be better. And your future is going to be bright because you're healing a belief that's held you back for so long. And you're letting go of people that held you back for so long. And it's only going to bring goodness in your life. I hope this helped. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. This is for everyone who chose Miss Alyssa Edwards. This is a pile that is like diving deep into music. I got the song Ring My Bell. Remember that song from the 70s? I also got Miley Cyrus. There's always gonna be another battle. You know that song Mountain? Or The Climb, I think? That reminded me of that. Anyways, pile number 2. Here we go. The blessing coming in for you sooner than you think, I might add. The goddess Francesca has a message for you. Actually, she's an angel. What do you desire right now? Visualize it, and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So I feel like this pile, and look, see the chameleon? There is a lot of change happening here. See him? He's right there. A lot of change. And anytime the full moon is illuminated, there's a lot, right? There's a lot of messages, but there's a high energy. I feel like you have a lot of clarity. And however, there's still this negative filter, even like, I think you're seeing things for how they are, and it's not making you happy. So what Spirit wants to tell you is, and look, see these flowers? Oh my God, the name is eluding me, but these are very powerful in the pagan practice. These are a flower that you get for death. So death and rebirth. So I feel like something painful or emotionally triggering has happened recently outside of yourself, or whether inside yourself, and it's causing you to change. And Spirit is just reminding you, put that on pause. Like, it's there, yes, but visualize what you want. What do you want not only to happen out of the situation, but what do you want in life? So the blessing that's coming in is a blessing for support. I don't know if this is a friend. I got therapist right away, so you might be finding a therapist that really gives you a sense of stability. You might call upon a friend and you guys connect in a way that is so supportive. Regardless of what it is, I see support, physical support that you can rest on and that won't let you down, is coming to your aid. And it's going to make you victorious, and you're going to raise your flag in the air, and it's going to be sooner than you think. I think this pile has also been seeing 39 or the number 3 a lot. I would check out the spiritual meaning. Look, I did my nervous hands. I have anxiety, and I do that when I'm nervous. I grab my fingers. So you might be really anxious about a situation progressing or how life is panning out. Or you might be like, I can't handle this. I really need help. Maybe this pile is like, I don't want to rely on my toxic cycles, but the new healthy habits aren't doing it for me, and I need help. I see that really coming about. A miracle! So yellow always represents the solar plexus chakra. So in your heart, I feel like it's exploding. Like, see how it's like a little stump, little wood stump? So there you are, or there you were, right? Your husk, you were a tree. Something cut you down. Something has rocked your world, a truth, a realization. Something has revealed itself to you. A big change has happened, and it's revealed an inner truth. And I see a miracle happening. And like in this, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but there's like a shape of a woman, and she's like, it doesn't look like a coin, but to me it does. Maybe it is a coin, maybe it's a peace sign. I just see that the blessing of support and peace is coming to you through all this crazy toxic rummagings and getting out of these old cycles. A miracle is happening. It's going to take place. And the gift of fulfillment is ultimately going to sprout from this craziness in your life within the next 2 to 3 months. I see possible romance blooming. I see more in-depth connections, and I see the connections that you're in I'm telling you, within 2 to 3 months, or Libra season, so whenever you're watching this, your Libra season, expect emotional fulfillment to really be taking place. And the connections that you're making from this moment on are going to be very supportive. And by you taking care of yourself and by you being kind to yourself, you're going to have exactly what you want. Actually, let's start with these cards. So we have ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. Yeah, so again, I think within the next 2 to 3 months, expect a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic, to really come into your life and to be supportive. And I think it's going to kind of shock you how much you can trust this person. You know, always use your own caution, of course, but I really think that the person coming into your life within the next few months is really, it's going to be pleasantly surprising. They could be an earth sign, or they also could be an air sign. So that is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. I just got Kat Von D, so you might be thinking of getting a new tattoo, or maybe you like someone who's really alternative, or maybe you want to really dive into your alternative side, your more artistic side. And I see shocking, exciting news. It doesn't say exciting, but I emotionally got that. So I don't think this is going to be scary. I don't think you have to worry about this news. You should never worry about news, right? But it's like, this change is not going to be something where you're like, oh, fuck, what? I got to get my seatbelt on. Please be driving safely. That just came out. You're going to be okay. But I do see more change coming about, but this is going to be a change that is like the miracle portion. Like, I just feel like you had something that really hurt you or really shook you up, and I just see another big change about to shake you up, but in a better way. Not today. Not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call, or person. Boundaries, still angry. So you might be dealing with somebody who's really resistant to this connection if you are dealing with somebody. Maybe they're like, you know, this could be a friend or a romantic relationship, but I just get maybe right now in this moment, either somebody is ghosting you or somebody is like, never mind, I don't want to do this anymore. Or maybe they're just going through a phase of like hermiting and not wanting to deal with the talk that you guys need to have, whether it's super serious or whether it's not, you know, like there is just some level of avoidance. But I see within the next 1 to 2 months that really changing. But I do see some level of pain right now you're dealing with, and Spirit just wants you to know that you're going to be ascending, and whether that's with this person or a new friend group, or even just with inside yourself, regardless, the blessing of support is coming in through a friend, relationship, or a therapist. Mountain. So you might be watching Game of Thrones a lot, or maybe like you feel like whatever you're facing is fucking huge. I keep cursing, sorry. But I see that you, something really leveled you, and you're just kind of staring at your life, and it's like daunting, and you're like, Create intentional solitude. Oh, look at the koala. If you like stuffed animals, I think it's the time for a new stuffy. But if not, keep watching animal videos. I feel like this pile likes to watch a lot of animal videos. And try to fill your house with more flowers. You might be rocking paisley shirts or dresses. That is awesome. But right now, and this could even be you. Like, you're not, like, it's not like you're avoiding people because you're trying to be mean. But I almost feel like if this isn't somebody avoiding you, and I feel like you're kind of like, you know what? I need time to process what is going on in my life. And right now you're creating that internal, intentional solitude. You're not being mean, you're just being the hermit. But I do see you coming out of that. Support is on the way. Help is on the way. And it's on the way sooner than you think. Echoes. Ancient. Culture. Roots. Customs. Your ancestors are deeply watching you. And this is during, the waxing moon. So things are just becoming illuminated, or they're not quite illuminated. I'm sorry, I'm like confused. I'm like, is that the waxing or the waning moon? Regardless, things aren't very clear right now. However, you and the veil are open, meaning you are very intuitive. And right now, through this internal solitude, this intentional solitude, I keep saying internal. So I really feel like you really want to go with inside yourself and ask yourself the deep questions, asking yourself if you're truly okay. Your ancestors want you to know that they're with you. You're being watched. I kept getting cats too. So you might be clinging to your animal friends, maybe watching animal videos. But ultimately, I just see that you diving into your culture is really going to be healing. So if, like, for example, you're Native American, diving into maybe a Native American rituals or, shamanism, or whatever your cultural background is, I see that your ancestors want to really talk to you. But when I just see this too at roots, like you're getting back to basics. Whatever happened is leveling you or leveled you. And it's making you start from scratch, but I also see support coming in. It's like, yes, something happened, something died, but something new is being born in the process. In the Christian religion, I know there's a Bible verse that translate that, God doesn't allow us to go through pain, right? Through the pain of childbirth without giving us something beautiful. So through that pain, that death of childbirth, right? The physical pain, you get the blessing of the new life. So that's what I see is happening right now for you guys. Right. Let us get into some tarot. Oh, sorry, it's shaking, guys. Don't worry, I'll show you. Awesome. So we have strong water on the table. We have Pisces, Scorpio, and we have Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. I don't know why I had a brain fart there. We also have strong Aries energy. Let's get started. Right now, you're in a time of healing. And look, life, I feel like something's not stable, whether it's financially, whether it's a partnership, or whether it's just like dealing with issues that a male figure has left in your life, whether it was your father, grandfather, uncle, ex-boyfriend, brother, I see that ultimately stability is harsh right now, and your sense of stability is shaken. Maybe your family is kind of chaotic right now, your physical family. And emotionally, I see you going inward and simplifying your life and doing things that make child you happy. Because I think you're realizing the secret to true fulfillment is making sure your inner child is satisfied and healed and loved and always supported. And I feel like you're going back to like just wanting to hang out with your friends, maybe just binge watch like old movies you watch together, or just like hang out like you did in high school. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Like you're going back to like this, who you wanted, like your idea of adult. I feel like you're kind of regressing in a positive way, and you're going back to like this more pure, like, what do I really want? Like not adult me, like what, because adult you, I feel like is very different than what you thought adult you would be, or what real you wants adult you to be. So I feel like you're really going inward, you're reconnecting with friends, and you're reconnecting with things that brought you simple joy or bring you simple joy, and you're just simplifying your life. And it's bringing you a lot of emotional fulfillment. And I really see within the next month, you might be seeing the number 111 or 1010. I really see within the next month that your emotional connections are going to deepen. And I see somebody either coming back around or offering you a cup. But if not within a month, by Libra season, I really feel like emotionally, your home life is going to look a lot better. Your family and friends situation is going to look a lot better. And I see that you're ready to offer your heart to someone. And I also see someone reciprocating that maybe that could be part of that support team we were talking about earlier. And right now, it's dry, it's arid, and connections don't feel emotionally fulfilling. And so it feels kind of crazy to even say that. But I really feel that you're really looking at your life, you and this person, or just you in general. You're having clarity and you see it for what it is. But please don't be harsh with yourself. And don't, and I think that maybe you always you're very critical with yourself, and maybe it's coming out how you talk to people and others. But ultimately, I see within the next 2 months, the emotional connections in your life are going to be so much better. The way that you emotionally connect with people is going to be so fulfilling, and that's the blessing. That life is going to get better with this, as long as you keep making time for yourself, not being hard on yourself, not being critical with yourself and with others. You're emotionally going to be so fulfilled. Just please hold on. I hope this helped. Oh, and any type of arts and crafts project that you've been thinking about, put your heart into that. I will see you later. Love you. Hello, Pile 3. This is for everyone who chose Crystal Methyd. Maybe you bought a new necklace recently. Maybe you like the group Insane Clown Posse. I don't know. Not that she does, but I just saw her and I thought of that. So maybe you're just a creative, kooky bunch and I love you. Pile number 3. The blessing coming in. Well, now there's 2 blessings because the first blessing card I pulled was very specific. So I just, but I think I know what spirit means, so I wanted to share that with you first. A blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. A blessing to heal a relationship. So for some of you, anyone who, first I want to send my condolences. If you are dealing with any type of passing, whether it's your family, a loved one, a pet, I am truly sorry that you are going through a loss, but Spirit wants you to know that a blessing, that they are blessing that person, that spirit that is about to transition to a different phase, right? A different realm. And they are in peace, and Spirit wants you to be in peace because of that. A lot of love is in this connection. Whenever I see these warm browns, these earth tones, I think of rock, I think of earth, I think of blood, I think of real, like bone. And maybe this is just a family member. And I feel like even though there's so much grief, there is a sense of peace. And see the skulls here, the death, a blessing to heal a relationship. So I feel like if you were drawn to this pile, that either A, someone in your life is passing, or 2, or B, it's changing. There's a relationship that is no longer going to be the way it was, and healing is taking place. You might be like taking more baths or showers, or you might be, just meditating more, like being more quiet, and I highly recommend making any space that you can have quiet time even more spiritually open. So your bath or shower experience, make it more spiritual, maybe light candles, say a prayer, or Google ways that you can do spiritual baths or spiritual cleansings. But I just get, regardless, even if you're like with music, find music that perfect for meditation. That's not just the classic meditative music. Meditate whatever sign you are, look up the planet and meditate to the planet's sounds. That will help you really ground and center your energy. And planets have a really weird sound, so it is awesome. The angel Rochelle is with you. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So, and she's wearing lots of green, and green is always like health, the goddess, the empress, regenerative properties. So I see that with any type of endings that are happening in your life, They're going to go in peace, and some of those relationships are going to morph, and healing is going to take place. And even if it is like a loved one passing, I feel like there's going to be a lot of peace with that as well. So as you continue to come from an authentic place and honor yourself and honor like what your inside tells you to do, you can't fail. Even through this crazy transition, sad time. Tend to the fragile. You might be seeing the number 9, the number 999. When you see the number 9, it's all about humanitarianism, selflessness, idealist, compassion, completion, and universal love. It's all about tending to the fragile. You're tending to the parts of yourself that are really weakened. I feel like this pile, with these transitions happening, it's showing you where you're not as healed as you thought you were. And I think you are totally, oh look, there's a dragonfly, see him? Oh, dragonflies are always signs of healing and peace and thank you. It's like I keep getting the message thank you anytime I see dragonflies. It's always like a gratitude animal. That's just for me personally, but always expect healing and messages coming about. You're just tending to yourself, and that is important. And I think along, obviously with death, we tend to kind of go within, right? It's quiet. In the quiet moments, you're really healing yourself. Just know that every time you meditate or have those introspective thoughts, you're doing the good work. And as a result, your renewal is taking place. So this is the color red, obviously, and that's related to your root chakra, your sacral chakra. So I feel like you're healing a lot of sexual issues or relationship issues or relationships with intimacy or your passion projects. Ultimately, any type of your passion, your sense of passion is healing. What drives you is healing. And I feel like you have been going on autopilot a lot lately. And something has happened that you're like, I don't want to be on autopilot anymore. And that's what's happening, my friend. You're growing. And as a result, you are healing yourself. If you practice menstrual magic, I mean, I highly recommend it. And if you're like, I don't have a menses, that's okay. You can also honor the divine feminine in other ways. And I highly recommend looking into goddesses if you're into that sort of thing. But if not, that's okay. The color red is very important to you. Any type of like rust colors, browns, red browns. I don't know if you can hear the ambulance. So I do see that, something traumatic has happened, but it doesn't feel traumatic like it took you for surprise. I just kind of feel like it was a long time coming. But yeah, healing's going to take place, especially in the winter months. So right now you're like, oh, it's summer and it's going to get better. Spirit is letting you know that the gift of healing, the phase of this death is ending. Peace is now taking place, and healing to your relationships is going to be restored. And that's the gift. Camera, maybe, you're going through old pictures and reminiscing, keepsake, perception. Learn from the past, make memories. So I feel like this cycle that's ending in your life, whether it's a physical death or an emotional death, is really making you look at it and learn from it. You're really growing. So be proud of yourself. You are truly like maturing and growing in a way that you didn't even know you needed. The butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child, growth. And look, that renewal. See, I feel like you're healing a lot of like either sexual trauma or relationship traumas, and anyone that like you had to say goodbye to, or anyone that I don't know if an ex is coming back, but it almost feels like from this moment on, here and now, if you will, everyone that you are saying goodbye to is going to go in peace. And anyone that comes back, it's going to have a healed presence, a healed energy. Because you are growing your inner child. And I really feel like you're helping other people. I don't think, I know you're helping other people grow their inner child because you're being authentic. Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. So yeah, I feel like anyone you had to say goodbye to, they might be coming back in your life. And I feel like they are definitely ready to take this relationship, this situationship, this connection to the next level. And if you're like, oh, well, I have someone already, then this is definitely them putting in more effort into the connection. Because I feel like if you are with somebody and you're like, well, this doesn't really, relate to me because we're all right. I mean, this is them growing. And I feel like something happened in this connection, and you're taking some time for yourself. Like I said, I feel like even this is like a break, and you're giving them a chance to heal, but you're also giving your chance self to heal. And as a result, they're going to come back to you, and they're going to come back full force, and they're going to be ready to play the game with you. But not like a bad game, if you will. But I said game nonetheless. So please always trust your intuition. This whole collective, regardless of what pile you pick, is so intuitive, and the third eye is open. And I say that because there's always an image in each pile that has like a third eye representation. You might love bindis, or maybe you have been really interested in like Bollywood or Indian culture. I highly recommend it. Beautiful art. But yeah, you could be dealing with a Leo, or just your sense of vitality is really being challenged, and it's growing, and you are becoming more stable than ever. So strong fire energy. We have Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. But ultimately, from here and now, you are like making promises to yourself, and like you're making the intentions to yourself, even if you're not saying them out loud. And as a result, you are creating true stability for yourself. So anyone that comes back into your life, it's going to be stable because you're more stable, and you are going to become more energized as the days go on. And I feel like within the next 4 days to 4 weeks, expect some real flirting, expect some real back and forth in your connections, expect more intimacy. Lastly, we have meditation. The number 3 might be very prevalent to you. Routine, breath, quiet, peace. Yama! So by the next full moon, expect some serious changes. I know currently, July 4th, the full moon is waning right now. So from now to the next full moon, no matter when you're watching, expect some massive growth and real flirting. And flirting always doesn't have to be romantic, right? I just expect your connections to have some real depth, and expect people that weren't fully committing to you to come back because you're fully committing to you. That's the good news, is like you're not leaving yourself. You're working with yourself. You're being patient with yourself. You love yourself. Let's get some tarot. Don't worry, I'll show you guys. So right away we have every sign illuminated. So this is for everyone and anyone. So right now you are really working by yourself, and maybe you're like all your projects are on pause, maybe your diet's on pause, anything that you've been working on, maybe even your job, like it's kind of going blah. You're feeling really stuck. You don't know what to do, and it's because you're really stressing yourself out. Life is stressing you out, anxiety is stressing you out, and your walls are they're heavy. And I really feel like you're seeing that, and you're like, you know what? I don't want my life to go this direction anymore. And I see within the next month, you're emotionally going to be so surprised within yourself and the connections, because you're giving yourself this chance. I feel like this pile is really hard on themselves. And I find artistic people are very hard on themselves, are very critical, because I feel like we're all perfectionists on some level, right? So I feel like regardless if you're critical of yourself or not, just expect that with all these changes, these permanent changes, well, nothing's really permanent, nothing lasts forever, but with all these very strong changes in your life, expect within the next month, not only are the people that you love going to come back and reciprocate love, but I see some intimacy. I see some sexual chemistry. And I also see somebody coming in from your past. This is for a select few that wasn't fully ready to emotionally commit to you. And I see them coming back because you put yourself first. You didn't give them the ultimatum. You gave yourself, like, you just were honest with yourself and you're like, what am I doing? I have to be real with myself. And I love myself, and loving myself does not mean saying yes all the time. Loving myself does not mean giving up my self-worth. And loving myself, I'm worthy of someone loving me back. And I hear reciprocity. So you might be listening to Lauryn Hill. Was it The Emancipation of Lauryn Hill? Excellent album. But yeah, ultimately, I just see within the next month a renewal, a sense of self, the quiet time. I promise you, it's for the best. I hope this helped. Love you guys. Bye.